The story of Adam and Eve in the Garden of Eden has been taught for generations as a literal narrative of disobedience and punishment. However, the Sacred Atlantean Brotherhood reveals a profound and metaphorical understanding of this ancient tale, one that redefines humanity's spiritual journey and invites us to reclaim our divine inheritance. The Garden of Eden, a metaphor for our true nature. The Brotherhood teaches that Adam and Eve were never physically expelled from Eden. Instead, what truly happened was a metaphorical forgetting of their divine nature. The punishment was not a condemnation, but rather a necessary step in their spiritual evolution, a journey designed to awaken them to their infinite potential. The Brotherhood asserts that the Garden of Eden is not a physical place, but a state of consciousness, a unity with the divine, untouched by illusion or limitation. When Adam and Eve ate from the tree of the knowledge of good and evil, they became metaphorically blindfolded, perceiving the world through the limited lens of the five senses and the mind. The fruit represents the duality of existence, life and death, pleasure and pain that traps humanity in a cycle of illusion. The punishments as pathways to transcendence, the so-called punishments of Adam and Eve, are not arbitrary punishments, but guideposts to rediscovering the truth of our infinite nature. Genesis 3:19 says, "By the sweat of your brow you will eat your food until you return to the ground." This, the Brotherhood explains, is a metaphor for the human experience of survival, toil, and the eventual transcendence of the physical and mental planes. Adam represents humankind as a whole, tasked with transcending the body, the mind, and the illusion of separation. The sweat of his labor symbolizes the effort it takes to move beyond the illusions of material life and rediscover the infinite nature that lies within. Similarly, Eve's pain in childbirth represents the process of giving birth to higher awareness through suffering and growth. The naked truth. Ignorance versus innocence. After eating the fruit, Adam and Eve became aware of their nakedness and felt shame. But what does this nakedness truly represent? According to the Brotherhood, it is the nakedness of ignorance, the realization of our vulnerability and incompleteness when disconnected from the divine. Children, however, are unashamed of their nakedness, because they remain in a state of purity and innocence, untainted by the illusions of guilt and judgment. As the scriptures teach in Matthew 18:3, "Unless you change and become like little children, you will never enter the kingdom of heaven." The Brotherhood emphasizes that to return to the Garden of Eden, one must embrace the childlike qualities of purity, trust, and a connection to the infinite truth that lies beyond the mind. The journey back to Eden, the Brotherhood teaches that every individual has the ability to return to the Garden of Eden. This does not mean a physical return, but rather a spiritual awakening, an unshackling from the illusions of the material world, and a recognition of the divine unity that pervades all existence. By transcending the false and illusory nature of life, humans can rediscover their infinite nature and reclaim their place in Eden. This process begins with questioning the limits of our senses, our beliefs, and the dualities that define our experience. The journey requires effort, reflection, and the courage to look beyond the surface of life to the eternal truths beneath. Reclaiming the divine within. Grand Master Wax Hero reminds us that the ultimate goal of humanity is to reunite with the divine, to reclaim the truth of our infinite potential. This journey requires breaking free from the blindfold of illusion, transcending the body and mind, and living as divine beings in harmony with the universe. The Garden of Eden, then, is not a story of banishment, but a story of awakening. It is a reminder that within each of us lies the seed of infinite potential. By shedding the illusions of separation and duality, we can once again walk in unity with the divine, reclaiming our birthright as children of the living Father. Wax Hero, founder and Grand Master Sacred Atlantean Brotherhood, join the Sacred Atlantean Brotherhood,